Hello guys and welcome to our Malaysia question and answer / travel guide. So this is everything that you're going to need to know before you go on your trip to Malaysia. Before we get stuck in, we've got a really exciting announcement to make. Our Malaysia travel guide and also our Singapore, if you haven't guessed already, Singapore is our next country, travel guide, are now available in our travel guide and planner. So if you don't know, if you're new to this channel, we essentially have a travel guide and planner which helps you plan all of your trips. That means we now have 9 guides included. And the best part is we've now discounted it by $5, so it's now $19.99 or £15.50 if you're British, and that's for 2 days. So if you've been thinking about getting this travel planner and guide, do it now. It's amazing.
And the best thing is, every time we go to a new place, I'll get Abby to update it.
Yeah, so new country, new place, you get all the updates after you just pay once and that's it. We really hope you guys like it. Anyway, on to the meaty stuff of the Malaysia stuff.
Meaty stuff.
The meaty Malaysia.
I hate that phrase.
Brief overview of our trip in Malaysia. So we spent about 3.5 to 4 weeks in Malaysia. We started off in Kuala Lumpur, we flew up to Langkawi, we went to Georgetown, Penang, then we went over to Ipoh, back down to Kuala Lumpur, then we went over to the rainforest,
Taman Negara,
and then we went back to Kuala Lumpur, and then we went down to Malacca, then we went across to Singapore, but that's coming up soon.
Yeah, so like lots of people because it's coming into rainy season in Thailand, will start in Langkawi and just work their way down.
Yeah.
So essentially, because we flew into Kuala Lumpur, we kind of got up, then went down.
And I guess our first initial thoughts on not Kuala Lumpur, on Malaysia in general was, we haven't heard many people big it up, had we, along the way?
No, it seemed like a lot of people would just go to Kuala Lumpur like on a layover or just go there for a couple of days. Like, I guess in the 14 months, I keep saying that, it's more like 18 months we've been traveling. Malaysia's probably one of the ones that we've heard people talk about the least, but I guess that's why it's exceeded our expectations the most, really.
Yeah, we really, really loved Malaysia, and we didn't have that much thought into how much we were going to like it.
We kind of just got there and we're like, there's this and this, and then from day one we absolutely loved it, didn't we?
Yeah. So in this video we're going to give you loads of tips and tricks and obviously answer all of your questions, right? Onto the question and answer section. So this time I've actually separated out all of your questions into subheadings. So this one is must visit places. So the first question is, how long should I spend in Kuala Lumpur?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, you go.
3 or 4 days, I'd say. Like, I could easily live in Kuala Lumpur. Like, it's got good food, It's got really good attractions, it's got like a good nightlife and good vibe. Obviously got some really good martial arts gyms for myself. So yeah, like I would say, like, yeah, definitely give it 3-4 days, like if you're on a backpacking trip.
And we enjoyed going back in between places as well, just because it was a nice place to recharge our batteries. And then what were your favourite places in Malaysia, ones we cannot miss out? So if people were going to Malaysia for the first time, we would be like, you absolutely have to go to.
Oh god.
Kuala Lumpur, obviously.
Taman Negara.
Taman Negara was like amazing for
Yeah.
us, like one of our favourite experiences we've done this year. So that's the rainforest. If you're looking for an adventure and an outdoorsy situation where you get trekking through the jungle and you're just completely like cut off from like everyday life, the jungle was our top experience, I think. Georgetown, Penang was a really...
Oh yeah, Georgetown was good. I think it's one of those that you keep saying, like, everywhere's good, really.
No, but we didn't get on well with Ipoh, only because
yeah.
we were in a little bit of a bad mood, so we don't want to, like, if you're planning on going there, still go. Don't take our word for it.
It looks like there was loads to do, but like we only had 2 nights there or 1 night there. Our bus was like 4 hours late, and then we couldn't check in because the hostel we were staying at was shut until 4 p.m. or something, like, you know, like when just everything goes wrong.
Yeah.
So that's probably why there wasn't a video there, and we just decided to go to the cinema. So like sometimes your mood can really reflect the impression of a place that you're at, can't it?
So we can't really comment on that one. Langkawi we enjoyed, but we wouldn't return to. But we also think it's good in your like Malaysia itinerary because it's nice to get like an actual island, beachy vibes.
Yeah.
But that probably wasn't as good as Kuala Lumpur and Georgetown and the jungle for us. And Malacca was amazing as well. I loved Malacca, I loved the feel of the city as well. So I guess to summarise, Kuala Lumpur,
Georgetown, we're everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere. We can't really comment on Ipoh, and Langkawi was great, but if you have to miss somewhere, maybe there.
Yeah.
in summary.
Yeah.
But everywhere we went to in Malaysia was spot on, basically.
Yeah.
Right, culture and food section. So someone has asked, what are your top 3 foods we should try?
Oh, but first I think we should prefix this by saying, I think Malaysia, we done 2 food tours.
Yeah, we love the food.
In Malaysia. So we've done a fantastic one in Kuala Lumpur, like to kind of give us our first impressions of Malaysian food when we first arrived in the country. So I'd really recommend doing that. And then we've done another one in Penang, which is obviously known for its food. So I actually do feel like this is probably one of the countries, well, we always do a food tour, but I feel like we definitely...
Food tour is important.
Yeah.
Get that on your agenda right now.
And we definitely dug into like loads of different foods and tried loads of different stuff. So I think we're very well positioned to comment on this.
Yeah, and it's probably one of the countries where we ate most local for the past
I was
year,
just about to say chicken tikka masala.
No, I think so. Top 3. Really liked obviously nasi lemak.
Just ask me what my top 3 is and then cut in.
We really
If
liked.
you don't know, if you've never watched one of our live streams before, we both like talking and just
We just talk over
completely
each
talk over each other. So I'll let you do your top 3.
Okay, nasi lemak was really, really good. The anchovies couldn't get on board with, but in general, like soft curry chicken and aromatic rice with some crunchy peanuts on the side and like a bit of sambal. All of that together was delicious. What was the one in Penang that we really liked?
Nasi kandar.
Nasi kandar.
That was going to be that was going to be my number 1.
Yeah, that's actually my number 1 because that was delicious. It's the same kind of thing. It's rice with either fried chicken or curry chicken and then loads of different sauces, and then they have like cabbage on the side and other stuff that you can choose, like eggs and stuff, and they just like put it on your plate and it costs like £3 or something. But it was delicious. We tried that in Penang and it actually originated in Penang. So if you go into Penang, try that. Nasi kandar.
You've got a third
one. I'm trying to think.
Roti canai.
Roti canai.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good as well.
Was good. But I think overall, because you've got so many different cuisines, like you could always, like we'd have an Indian one night and then we'd have like a Chinese kind of food one night and then we'd have like, I guess, nasi lemak and then it was like...
Variety was crazy.
There was constantly... Yeah, like, because you've got all of these different cuisines and so many dishes in each of these cuisines, like, you were honestly just eating so much food, weren't you? It was unreal, the food.
And I feel like it would be wrong to not mention this, even though I ended up loving the one in Malacca, but it's probably not our favourite top 3. But chendol is huge there, which is a shaved ice dessert with like loads of random stuff in it, like kidney beans or
I can't get on board with it.
I had a really nice one in Malacca that had mango on top and coconut ice cream, and I actually loved that one. The one in Kuala Lumpur I wasn't so keen on, but it's something you just have to try when you go to Malaysia because it's just big there. It's great to cool you down, and it's just an interesting thing to try if you're from like England or anywhere like that. It's just completely not what we would usually eat. Yeah, you don't like it.
I just don't get it personally, but
and durian, try durian too.
Oh god, don't like that either. Anyway,
we could go through every food that we tried.
We literally just talked for 4 minutes about what dishes we like.
If you want details on food, like we said, 2 food tours, so I'll leave all the links
watch
to
them
all
bad boys. Yeah,
watch them. How does Malaysian food compare to other Southeast Asia cuisines? You pretty much answered that, but essentially it's very different to like Thailand, Vietnam.
You can get like good Thai food, good Vietnamese, but it's essentially like...
I'd say it's got... Sorry.
No, go on.
No, you go on.
No, I don't even know what I was going to say now.
Okay. So essentially, I think it takes like influence a little bit. Not takes influence, but they're quite similar because I don't know who was first. But Indonesia, some of the dishes cross over. India, obviously, there's an Indian influence there, and Chinese and China, there's an influence there. Compared to like Thailand, Vietnam, etc., where their dishes are just their dishes. We could literally change cuisine every night, and it'd still obviously be Malaysian food, but like the flavours would be completely different if we went for like a Chinese Malay dish or like a Muslim Malay dish or whatever. So there's so much variety, and that's what really set it out compared to like, because we love Thai food, but like Thai food is Thai food, do you know what I mean? But you wouldn't get like a different influence, would you? Yeah.
God, I'm so hot in here.
I could tell that you're in your head.
Can I turn the aircon on?
I don't know if it'd be loud.
Profusely.
Gaz has gone to wipe his sweat with a towel.
Your towel.
No, you're not. Yeah. Not with my towel.
So next we're going to talk about the budget and how much Malaysia cost.
So someone's asked, is Malaysia expensive compared to other Southeast Asian countries? No.
I'd say it's pretty in line with Thailand, maybe Vietnam, maybe a little bit more expensive. I'd say it's probably comparable with Thailand and Indonesia.
Yeah, I agree. And it is also the land of affordable luxury. So like in Kuala Lumpur and Malacca, we got like these apartments that had like rooftop pools and gyms and stuff like that. So, you know, if you've got a mid-range budget like us, you can get quite a bit for your money. But also, yeah, there's more of a mid-range options, isn't there?
Your money goes a long way, basically. I think there's not really that, you know, like Laos, Vietnam, you can kind of get a dorm room for $6 and you can get really cheap. I feel like there's not really that really cheap element, but what there is like, you know, the difference between £10 or £15 per person per night is like a really big step up in luxury, basically.
Yeah, so I'd say like food's probably about £2 to £3 if you go to a local restaurant. We got flights which were around £20 to £30 within the country. We spent about £30 a night on accommodation.
Bus is about a £5, like to get from, kind of doesn't really matter where you're going from, really, does it? It's like to go from one city to the other, like Georgetown to Kuala Lumpur is like a £5, basically. I think alcohol, if you are a big drinker, we weren't drinking that much, but we did meet some friends along the way and stuff. Alcohol is a little bit more expensive, but I think if you're not a big drinker, super affordable.
Yeah. How much did you spend? So I actually did an Instagram and TikTok reel on this. So if you want like a breakdown of everything that we spent in more detail, go and watch that. But in total, in 3.5 weeks, we spent £941 per person. That's excluding Gaz's martial arts stuff, because obviously you guys might not do martial arts. So yeah, that's about on track for us, really, isn't it? 3.5 weeks.
Yeah,
it's actually more affordable than.
And like I said, we don't really scrimp, do we?
No,
like
mid-range.
Yeah, like we stay in nice places, always got a private room, 3 meals a day, as you can see.
Any budget tips? So I've touched on this before, but if you're a couple and you want to do more affordable, then the private rooms in hostels were a lot more expensive than getting like an apartment.
And they weren't particularly nice either, were they?
No, they were awful. There's one where a toilet was attached. Oh, you saw it in our last question and answer. The toilet was in the room, like there was no privacy whatsoever.
God.
That was bad. So always look for homestays and apartments if you're not bothered about socialising.
It's like apart hotels, aren't they? Is that what they call them these days? The apart hotels?
Yeah.
It's like where it's like an apartment and a hotel.
And then also getting buses across the country was super affordable. Don't think that getting buses is always the best route, because when we went from Langkawi to Georgetown, the flight was £20, including 20
You
kg.
can't get a bus.
No, but you can. You can spend a full day travelling across on a boat, down the country and across on another boat. And obviously if you're a budget backpacker, you might want to do that. But honestly, the difference in cost was like nothing.
There was no ferry port when we was there, remember?
Not to get straight from there to there, but you go on the mainland and down. So, and then eating in local restaurants. We didn't get ill once in Malaysia. So just look to find lots of locals and then eat at those restaurants. And obviously that's a lot cheaper, and you know that you won't get a bad stomach if it's busy with local people. Getting around, how did you travel in between cities? Literally just touched on that. So we flew up to Langkawi. We flew from Langkawi to Georgetown. They were the easiest ways to get across when it's like a long distance. And then everything else is literally just buses, and we booked them through One2 Go Asia.
Yeah.
Cheap, comfortable, reclining.
Every city or town's got like a fairly like well-run bus terminal, don't they? Where got loads of places to grab food in there. Obviously, I think it's probably how most people get around, like on big cities, how most locals get around. Super good bus system there.
I know. Yeah, it was comfortable as well. How do you get around Kuala Lumpur? We used the MRT, is that what they call it there? We used the metro system, didn't we? And that was great. You had to buy little tokens, just press in where you want to go, buy tokens.
So clean as well and modern, like puts the London Underground to shame, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like, why is the one in England such a shithole?
And then this one's like
it was completely pristine, like air conditioned. Could do with a bit of that in here right now. And then if something was a bit out of the way, like, I think the first day we tried to walk around the city a bit too much, didn't we?
Yeah.
And then we were like, right, there's no MRT here or no train or anything. Let's just get a Grab. So also Grab's really really affordable as well. So
yeah, that's
I think,
like the Uber of Asia, by the way, in case someone hadn't heard of that. Okay, safety and practical tips. So someone has asked, is it safe for travellers?
Yeah.
We were well safe, yeah. We didn't feel...
I think it is a really, really safe country. We didn't see any trouble. There's not like a massive, drinking and partying culture like Thailand and Vietnam. I didn't think it felt very, not scammy, but yeah. Do you know,
Yeah,
like
there was no
sometimes,
scammy, yeah, it didn't.
sometimes when you're in like Hanoi or like Koh Sam Road, there's a lot of people trying to approach you and make you do this and make you do that. I think generally, the people kept themselves to themselves or were really friendly when we wanted them to be. But that's not to say don't keep your wits about you. But yeah, it was really, really, really safe for us anyway.
Yeah, it's easy for us to answer as a couple, but obviously do your research if you're a solo backpacker, because we're not, and we're always together.
Have you not seen me as well? Like, obviously no one's going to mess with us.
Shut up. That's such a cringe thing to say.
No, yeah. Isn't it?
Shut up.
That was obviously a joke.
Do you need to cover up when travelling Malaysia? Well, obviously it's a mostly Muslim country, but we saw lots of people in shorts and stuff. In general, I attempt to respect their local culture. So, like big cities and stuff, I'll wear like longer skirts and stuff, but I don't think it's like necessary. No, there's so many tourists there.
And then obviously, like when we went and done like a tour around the mosque and stuff, they had, what do you call them, clothes?
Gowns and stuff
gowns
to cover
and
up,
stuff.
yeah.
I think it's very, quite culturally diverse. So I think people, when they can see you're a tourist, know that you're not doing anything offensive. It's more like you just don't know sometimes if you're going into somewhere or something, and people will just nicely say, oh, you need to put this on or cover your head.
It's definitely not a strict rule, but I think my clothes generally are longer, so I don't really think that much about it. But it's good to respect the local culture. So if you're going somewhere and it's going to be mostly a Muslim population, it's good to cover up.
Just don't be wearing like
skimpy clothes.
Skimpy, yeah, just wear like normal.
Yeah. Okay, final thoughts and recommendations. Right, top 3 things not to miss if someone's going and we're like, right, you have to eat this, do this. 3 things.
Yeah, food tour,
yeah, agreed.
Food tour in Kuala Lumpur, Georgetown, like just generally.
Just mooching around. Nice cafe scene.
Yeah, like cafes. I feel like that was the place that you felt most comfortable for like bars and stuff as well, like like live music and stuff. And then I would say
Kaman Nagara.
Yeah.
To us, that was like, we didn't even know what to expect, and we also stayed in a dorm room, which is not like us. If you do want to do Taman Nagara, there's more details in our planner.
Wild Lodge stayed at, yeah, and it was really, really cool, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then favourite memory.
Water rapid thing was
yeah.
probably the funniest thing, wasn't it? Like the river shooting or whatever they called it, where we were like driving down the river in the rainforest and they just started basically waterboarding us. Yeah, that was probably the main thing that I was like, that was crazy.
That was really fun, yeah, and I agree with that as well. Okay, well that's the end. I hope we've given you loads and loads of information on Malaysia and you've literally learned everything you need to know before you go. If you've got any more questions at all, of course, drop them in the comments below and we'll answer, and then anyone who's local to Malaysia will also help answer, etc. If you've been to Malaysia before, let us know what your favourite part of it was and other people can learn from that as well. And finally, don't forget to check out the travel planner and guide with 9 guides, including Malaysia and Singapore now, for 2 days at $19.99 or £15.50. I'll leave the link to that in the description or in the pinned comments. We hope you've enjoyed the Malaysia series as well. We'll definitely be back. We'll see you in the next one, guys, where we're in Singapore. Bye!